Hello and a warm welcome to South Asia Today, where we bring you in-depth insights into the key events shaping South Asia. I'm Shivangi Mishra, and here are today's top stories. Balain Shah's rise signals youth power and hope for reform. Doctors' protest triggers healthcare breakdown in POJK. And Gen Z dancing to spiritual beats. Let's begin the show. In North Kashmir, National Highway 701 is emerging as a transformative lifeline for the region. Stretching from Baramulla to Kupwara via Rafiabad and Handwara and reaching Tangdhar along the LOC, the 1404 crore corridor is set to redefine connectivity. Beyond easing travel, it promises economic momentum, stronger border logistics, and renewed opportunity, positioning North Kashmir for accelerated development and enhanced strategic resilience. Have a look.
In North Kashmir, construction of National Highway 701 is progressing across multiple stretches linking Baramulla to Kupwara through Rafiabad and Handwara and extending towards Tangdhar near the line of control. Executed primarily by the Border Roads Organization, the 1,404 crore rupees project is being closely monitored to maintain momentum. Once operational, the corridor is expected to streamline movement from Srinagar to Kupwara, unlock economic potential in adjoining areas, and strengthen overall regional connectivity.
अभी सारे पूरे ऑलमोस्ट ऑल स्टेजेस पे बीआरओ के थ्रू उसमें काम लगाएं और हमारे भी टाइम टू टाइम उसमें मॉनिटरिंग रहता है कि जल्दी से जल्दी ये काम ख़त्म हो जाए ताकि जो भी हमारे ट्रैवलर्स हैं उनको सहूलियत हो और उससे एक तो फ़ायदा यही होगा कि श्रीनगर से जो हमारी ट्रैफिक चलता है उसमें जल्दी से जल्दी वो कुपवाड़ा तक पहुंच सकते हैं और ओवरऑल जब भी जहाँ पे भी नेशनल हाईवे का डेवलपमेंट होता है तो उसके इकोनॉमिक बेनिफिट्स होते हैं आसपास के जितने भी एरिया हैं वो डेवलप हो जाता है और वहाँ के जो लोगों को फ़ायदा होता है तो मेरे हिसाब से एक बहुत अच्छा कदम है और हमारी कोशिश है एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की और बीआरओ के साथ मिलकर इस प्रोजेक्ट को जल्दी से जल्दी हम कंप्लीट करेंगे.
For the people of North Kashmir, National Highway 701 promises real change in everyday life. Faster and smoother connectivity will reduce travel time, improve access to healthcare, education and markets, and ease the movement of goods. Farmers, traders, and small businesses are expected to benefit from better transport links, opening new economic opportunities. For border communities in Kupwara and Tangdhar, the highway offers improved access and greater mobility.
हम बेहद शुक्रगुजार हैं क्योंकि हमारे जो ट्रैवलिंग कॉस्ट्स थे यहाँ के लोगों के ट्रैवलिंग कॉस्ट बढ़ जाते थे और जो हमारे पेशेंट्स थे वो अक्सर जैम्स में फंस जाते थे और उनकी अननेचुरल डेथ्स हुआ करती थी. टूरिस्ट यहाँ आता नहीं था क्योंकि उसके खर्चे बहुत ज़्यादा थे, जैम लगा रहता था तो वो यहाँ आने से इसमें उनको इंटरेस्ट नहीं रहता था ज़्यादा. लेकिन इस रोड के बनने की वजह से जो हमारी रूरल इकॉनमी है उस पर बहुत अच्छा असर पड़ने वाला है क्योंकि जो हमारा ऑफ बीट और बॉर्डर टूरिज़्म है उसके लिए कुपवाड़ा डिस्ट्रिक्ट एक मौजूद जगह है. तो जो टूरिस्ट फ्लो है जो एक्सपेक्टेड हम कर रहे हैं वो बहुत अच्छा आएगा और क्योंकि ये जो बॉर्डर एरियाज़ है इनमें टूरिस्ट अक्सर जाना चाहता है, ऑफ बीट देखना चाहता है, लेकिन अभी तक जो रोड की प्रॉब्लम थी उस वजह से नहीं आते थे. अब रोड बन गया है, अच्छा मुझे लग रहा है वो कम टाइम में यहाँ पे पहुँच जाएंगे तो इसकी वजह से जो गरीब लोग इन पहाड़ों में रहते हैं वो भी कुछ ना कुछ कमाएंगे, ज़रूर कमाएंगे.
The construction of National Highway 701 reflects the broader push towards infrastructure-led development in Jammu and Kashmir. In recent years, expanded road networks, improved connectivity, and upgraded public facilities have begun reshaping the region's growth story. Projects like this not only strengthen border districts but also integrate remote areas into mainstream economy. Together, such initiatives signal a sustained effort to accelerate development, improve livelihoods, and build long-term stability across Jammu and Kashmir.
A new political personality is capturing nationwide attention in Nepal. Rapper turned politician Balendra Shah, widely known as Balan, received a grand public welcome after securing an electoral victory in Jhapa on March 7th. His emergence highlights the rising demand among Nepal's younger generation for new leadership, greater transparency, and meaningful political reform. Many of his supporters view him as a sign of change in a political landscape that has long been dominated by traditional parties.
A new political phase is capturing national attention in Nepal. 35-year-old rapper turned politician Balendra Shah, popularly known as Balen, received a massive public reception after his electoral victory in Jhapa on March 7. Standing on top of his car and waving to cheering supporters, Shah thanked thousands of people who gathered on the streets to celebrate what many see as a generational shift in Nepal's politics. For many young voters frustrated with traditional political parties and corruption allegations, Balen represents a new style of leadership that mixes activism, youth appeal, and strong social media presence. Support for Balen has largely come from young voters who want political reform and accountability. His rise reflects a broader sentiment among Nepal's youth seeking fresh leadership and transparency in governance.
Now we have finally got the youngest Prime Minister in the world. Hope we will not forget all his promises and will work on the behalf of people. Wish him good luck. Thank you. We trusted you. Now you should not play with our trust. We love you, Balen.
Before entering politics, Balen gained recognition as a rapper whose music often highlighted social issues such as corruption, inequality, and governance failures. Academically, he is trained as a civil engineer and later completed a master's degree in structural engineering from Visvesvaraya Technological University in the Indian state of Karnataka, studying in Bengaluru between 2016 and 2018. His engineering background has also influenced his political agenda with a strong focus on urban planning, infrastructure, and governance reform.
I must say this is a remarkable change because a political party which had absolutely no history except it was very unknown to the people until recently has received a landslide victory. I can tell you that because all these people are new, they don't have any charges of corruption. They are very committed people. They have done very well in their professions. From the area they come into politics. And the organization is very new. They don't have backlogs. And the organization has started to develop its fundamentals. And the way it has been able to deal with the common people, you can see the result now.
The development is also being seen as a positive signal for long-standing ties between India and Nepal. The two neighboring countries share deep historical, cultural and economic connections, with thousands of Nepali students studying in Indian universities every year and extensive cooperation in areas such as trade, connectivity and infrastructure. Analysts believe that leaders like Balen, who have educational and cultural links with India, could further strengthen people-to-people ties and encourage deeper collaboration on development, technology, and urban planning between the two nations. For many young Nepalis, Balen Shah's rise is more than just an election victory. It represents a broader hope that new generation of leaders can reshape politics, restore public trust, and push Nepal towards a more transparent, modern and development-focused future, while maintaining strong and constructive relations with neighbors like India.
Now we take a look at some happenings in Asia in a segment called Asia Watch.
South Koreans were seen lining up at petrol stations to fill up their cars as fears over rising oil prices mounted amid the conflict in Iran. Drivers in Seoul tried to fill up their cars before prices climbed further. International benchmark Brent crude rocketed over 20% in early Asian trade, hitting $114 a barrel, the biggest daily gain since the start of the pandemic in 2020. Even though oil prices plunged at the start of trading on Tuesday, following a volatile session for markets overnight after the U.S. President Donald Trump declared the Middle East war could be over soon. Station operators saw more care queuing. The CEO of Saudi Arabia's state-owned oil company Aramco warned on Tuesday during a media call that the extended disruption caused by the Strait of Hormuz closure could have catastrophic consequences on global oil markets. South Korean President Lee Jae-myung said that authorities would cap domestic fuel prices for the first time in nearly 30 years to contain a spike in prices after the conflict in the Middle East sent global crude prices sharply higher. Tourists were excited to travel in the toy train in India's southern Ooty that runs across the picturesque Nilgiri Hills. The toy train in the Queen of Hill stations was started by the Britishers and granted the status of World Heritage Site by the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, in 2005. The train, connecting the plains of Mettupalayam with the cool hill retreat of Ooty, offers a glimpse into mist-covered valleys and cascading streams. For many visitors, the century-old toy train remains more than just a mode of transport. It is a nostalgic journey that blends engineering heritage with the timeless beauty of the mountains. Universities in Bangladesh were closed as the government sought to conserve electricity and fuel in response to rising oil prices due to the escalating conflict in Iran. The University of Dhaka's gates were shut and school bus operations were suspended as authorities took steps to mitigate the economic and consumer impact of the crisis. Oil prices surged 25%, with Brent crude heading for a record one-day gain, after OPEC producers Kuwait and Iraq reduced output over the weekend and the Strait of Hormuz, a vital oil choke point, remained largely inaccessible. Asian markets, which depend on the Middle East for 60% of their oil, suffered a decline in equities, while the US dollar strengthened amid concerns over a prolonged disruption to energy supplies.
In Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, a full-blown healthcare crisis unfolded as doctors and health department employees abandoned wards and took to the streets in protest. For over 2 weeks, they have camped outside Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Hospital in Muzaffarabad, demanding unpaid allowances and long-promised reforms. As the strike stretched into its 17th day, the government's inaction left patients stranded and exposed a collapsing public health system. We have a report.
In Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, healthcare workers who have long served with dedication and resilience now find themselves struggling for their own survival. Despite working tirelessly in hospitals, often under immense pressure and limited resources, many have been denied their rightful salaries and health allowances. Their commitment to patient care has remained unwavering, yet repeated promises by the authorities have gone unfulfilled, pushing them towards protest in search of justice.
अगर मैं ये अपनी स्टाफ नर्सेज की तरफ से उनको ये बता देना चाहती हूँ कि हम अपना हक लिए बगैर किसी सूरत भी अपनी स्ट्राइक ख़त्म नहीं करेंगे। पे वो हमें देते नहीं है, हमारी बढ़ाते नहीं है, अलाउंसेस हमारे बढ़ाते नहीं है। तो ये है कि उनको बंदा क्या कह सकता है, उनको खुद ही नज़र आना चाहिए। आज इतना अरसा हो गया हम लोग यहाँ पे स्ट्राइक में, उनको ये नहीं पता कि ठीक है अगर वो अपनी माँ को यहाँ से रेफर करवा के लेके गए, मगर ये कि उनको ये बात सोचनी चाहिए कि यहाँ पे बहुत सारे गरीब लोग हैं जो कहीं नहीं जा सकते। क्या पता कोई सफ़र हो रहा हो इस वजह से, क्या पता इस स्ट्राइक की वजह से किसी गरीब का कोई बच्चा सफ़र हो रहा हो, किसी की माँ सफ़र हो रही हो, किसी की बेटी सफ़र हो रही हो, मगर उनको इस बात का ख्याल तक नहीं है। खुदारा ये कहती हूँ कि कम से कम गरीबों पे जुल्म ना करो।
Agitating employees say years of assurances have turned into empty words with promises repeatedly made but never implemented. They point to widening governance gaps and chronic delays that have pushed them to the brink. After exhausting every formal channel, they chose the streets as their last resort. Their message is clear: continued inaction will only deepen the crisis, and it is imperative for the government to act now.
हम भी इसी मुल्क के बाशिंदे और दर्जा अव्वल के शहरी हैं। हम अपना हक लेना जानते हैं। जब हम उस नेज पर आ गए तो ये याद रखें कि उनको अपने घरों में भी पनाह नहीं मिलेगी, लेकिन अल्लाह और अल्लाह के रसूल के कानून के मुताबिक हम आसान तरीके से, अखलाक से, जायज तरीके से अपना हक मांग रहे हैं, तो दे दिया जाए तो इसमें उनकी भी भलाई है तो हमारे लिए भी बेहतरी है।
The strike has once again exposed the fragile state of public services in POJK. Beyond healthcare, people continue to grapple with crumbling infrastructure, unreliable electricity, poor connectivity, and limited economic opportunities. Protests by government employees are not uncommon, as workers across departments repeatedly raise concerns over delayed payments and poor service conditions. Together, these recurring crises reflect deeper governance failures that continue to intensify the everyday hardships faced by ordinary citizens.
When we hear clubs, we usually think of discos, late night parties, and thumping music, right? But now, a new kind of clubbing is taking the spotlight: bhajan clubbing. This trend is revealing the spiritual side of Gen Z. Here, young people dance and sing to the DJ's beats, but these aren't movie songs, they are devotional tunes. So, why are today's youth drawn to bhakti music? Let's find out.
A crowd of Gen Z, lights flashing, music thumping, and vibes soaring. But this is not a hip hop or jazz night. Welcome to the modern avatar of a bhajan evening. It's called bhajan clubbing or a devotional rave, where traditional bhajans meet high energy beats, live instruments, dhol tasha, electronic sounds, and DJ mixes. The devotion is the same, the excitement is the same, only the style is upgraded. Today's youth don't see devotion as boring. They sing, dance, and immerse themselves completely. Thousands gather at these events, losing themselves for hours in a unique blend of music and spirituality. Bhakti is no longer just something to listen to, it's an experience.
भजन क्लबिंग ये एक बहुत अच्छा माध्यम है जिससे हम जो यूथ है इस कंट्री के वो अपने कल्चर से, अपने संस्कृति से जुड़ पा रहे हैं।
आज का जो यूथ है वो कहीं ना कहीं क्लबिंग में बहुत ज़्यादा इन्वॉल्व हो रहा है, तो एज अ हम भजन के तरीके से क्लबिंग करें तो इससे हमारा ट्रेडिशनल भी काफ़ी अच्छे से फॉलो हो रहा है और इसके साथ साथ हमें बहुत कुछ पॉजिटिविटी एनर्जी भी मिल रही है।
जहाँ कहीं भी हो, युवाओं से यही कहना चाहूँगा, मेरे उम्र का जो है, जहाँ कहीं भी भजन क्लबिंग हो आप एक बार ज़रूर जाएं, आग्रह करता हूँ ज़रूर जाएं, और जो वहाँ पे आपको सुकून मिलेगा वो आपको किसी बार पब क्लब में नहीं मिलेगा।
In today's stressful world, bhajan clubbing is emerging as a real-life detox for youth. it's more than just entertainment. It's a fresh, cool way to connect with one culture. Even Prime Minister Narendra Modi has appreciated this trend, noting that today's generation is weaving devotion into their everyday lifestyle. Singing along with thousands of peers gives participants a true sense of community. The credit goes to Nikung Gupta, who founded Sanatan Journey to present Sanatan Dharma in a simple, modern and relatable way for today's world.
ये एक माध्यम है ताकि वो एक्सप्लोर कर सके कि स्पिरिचुअलिटी क्या है। लोग वहाँ आके, ये ज़रूरी नहीं है कि अच्छा ये कोई स्पेसिफिक कल्ट हो, ये कोई स्पेसिफिक जगह हो, क्योंकि हम जिस तरीके के इवेंट करते हैं हम कोशिश करते हैं कि हर तरीके के भगवान जी के गाने हो, एक्सपीरियंस हर तरीके का ऐसा हो कि लोग, चाहे कोई कृष्ण जी को मानता हो, कोई हनुमान जी को मानता हो, कोई शिव जी को मानता हो, सब आके एंगेज कर पाए।
Artists driving this change are presenting bhajans in fresh, modern styles. They understand today's youth, preserving the sanctity for mantras and bhajans while blending them with contemporary music, making it easier for the new generation to connect.
यूथ एकदम सोच समझ के अपने भगवान के साथ जुड़ना चाहती है, और भजन जो कॉन्सर्ट जो चल रहे हैं इतने ज़्यादा, इतने अच्छे, इतने बड़े स्केल पर, उनको ये माध्यम देते हैं जुड़ने का, कि वो लोग अपने इष्ट, अपने भगवान से संगीत के द्वारा जुड़ पाएं।
The significance of this trend is evident in the fact that it's no longer limited to private events. Governments and major colleges are now hosting such cultural spiritual experiences in their campuses. They recognize that for the holistic development of students, cultural engagement is just as important as academics.
आज हमारे कॉलेज में बसंतोत्सव के अवसर पर भजन क्लबिंग कार्यक्रम का आयोजन हो रहा है। मैं समझता हूं कि यह दिल्ली सरकार की एक अनूठी पहल है, जिसके माध्यम से हम युवाओं को न केवल जोड़ रहे हैं, बल्कि युवा इसकी तरफ आकर्षित हो रहे हैं।
Bhajan clubbing is not just a passing fad, it's a response to the peace today's youth have been losing amid modern noise. It proves that faith and modernity can go hand in hand. It's not just a trend, it's the heartbeat of a new India, where youth can party and pray at the same time.
As we wrap up today's episode of South Asia Today, we thank you for joining us. We'll return next week at the same time with more insights and updates. This is Shivangi Mishra signing off on behalf of our entire team. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.